All right, I hope you enjoyed a little Alice Cooper there. In the slides, I have also linked the music video at the end, just so you can have a little enjoyment once we get this all said and done. So, congratulations. We are at the end of the road. We have just a couple loose ends to tie up, and you'll be free to go. So, the message for today, you're watching, obviously, this week's slides, which we'll get to in a second, and then a survey link that I also have in the slides as well. All those things on top of a crazy year. So we haven't seen you since spring break, about 10 or 12 weeks ago. I just want to say thank you. All the responses between you and your parents, everything that you guys have had to go through from a mental standpoint, it's hopefully made you a different person. Hopefully it's made you appreciate the little things. Hopefully you found an extreme enjoyment that comes from school, a stability that comes from school, and hopefully you gained an appreciation of just all the things that go into this community and trying to make your education the best experience possible. So I know you guys bring that to me every single day. You allow me to grow. You allow me to get to know you. You let me in. For some it takes longer than others. But you'll always have somebody in me who you can come to, confide in, ask questions, share your insecurities and share your worries, but also hopefully I can get you to, see the bright side of things too. Hopefully I made you laugh. Hopefully I didn't make you cry. But a lot of what I do, I enjoy very much, and hopefully I brought that joy to you each and every day, regardless of what period you're in. Even in times of frustration, hopefully I tried to always come back and discuss things with you so you left with a smile on your face. And at least if I didn't, that was my goal or my intention. So, it's been hard. It's been hard not to see you guys face to face and grow with you through this time. With things reopening a little bit more and more each day, we get our normalcy back a little bit. And I'll kind of talk about where we're going in the future here in this week's slides. So, as you can see, we will do this little presentation here for those of you who won't be joining the Zooms at 2 and 2:30. If you have other things going on, no big deal. Weekly announcement. We have our Zooms at 2 and 2:30. Those are the links. They should be the same as last week. This week's picture is of Mr. Mead and his youngest, Bowen, at Sugar Bottom Beach. We had a little hiking, little biking, little sand playing. So that was quite fun to get out and do those things. So, he's 10 months now. So coming up in August, August 12th, he'll be 1 year old. So 1 year old. So that's exciting. Congratulations. Okay, you did it. You've done something that your parents haven't done. You've done something that your cousins, older cousins, aunts, uncles never went through. You finished a school year under quarantine. You finished a school year at home with distance learning. And that's not an easy task. So relax, enjoy your summer, and you deserve it. A couple things I just wanted to go through that I have read or are reading right now that could kind of prepare you for next year a little bit. I don't think you'll get up to World War II in American history, but you may cover some of these other things. So I'm a big fan of Brian Kilmeade. He's a pretty awesome historical writer, and one thing that he does that I enjoy is he puts history into like more of a story format. So I didn't know a lot about Andrew Jackson, for example. He was a president of ours, but also the Battle of New Orleans and what was kind of stacked against him, and the British, fighting the British in New Orleans, some of the insights that he had. Now, he has his faults. They don't really talk about that in the book so much, but historically he has his faults as far as how he treated people and who he was, but I think it paints a pretty accurate picture of him. The one I'm currently reading right now, and I don't know if this is in large print for me, but is Sam Houston and the Alamo Avengers. Okay, the Texas victory that changed American history. So this is about, we lost the original Battle of the Alamo, and then coming back to take that and to annex Texas basically from Mexico at that point. That shaped our southern border. And that's also helped build towards tensions in the future, but also things that are talked about today. So the last book I just finished is called Bomb. This is an award winner, and again, written in language that we can understand. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but this is written for a teen audience, and that's an excellent book for young adults. And I put a link down here in Cosmo of some of the best books coming out in 2020 and that have been out in 2020 for the YA category, young adult category. So knock yourselves out with that. Also, you could try some writing original works, poems, journal, fictional writing. Use peoples and situations that and are comfortable with to do that. And then some helpful writing links down here as well. Lastly, there's a survey here, and I'll go through each one of those questions. The survey link is right there. It's also on the slides, and you'll look like this cool cat as you take it. So first question is, what was your biggest fear coming into 7th grade? We all had them. Question 2, what was at least one thing you enjoyed most about global studies this year? Dog surfing was mine. Question 3, what is one thing that you would change and or critique about the course? Constructive criticism is appreciated. That doesn't mean honesty can be brutal, but I'll take it. And then what advice would you give your incoming 7th grade class to better prepare them for next year? So the 6th graders coming in next year, what would be your advice? What's one thing? Arnie's 6 rules over here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. It might seem like, he's a bodybuilder. He didn't have to work very hard, but he had a lot of things stacked against him. His upbringing, his language barrier, came to train in the U.S. So he always says, trust yourself, break rules. You can't always fit in the mold and be successful. Don't be afraid to fail. I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes we don't try because we're afraid to fail. And I go back to wrestling, a sporting event. I would be afraid to do something because I was afraid to get scored on or get taken down or lose. And you know what? I learned so much more from failing than I ever did from succeeding. And that's a big thing. To take that with me all the way to playing at Iowa or even being in the College of Education. Trying new things in the classroom and failing. You learn a heck of a lot more about yourself as a teacher and about your class when you fail. And you guys know firsthand, I fail all the time with lessons and struggle to reach you on some level. And then I go back and rewrite it, redo it, and redeliver it in a different way. Ignore the naysayers. You know what you need to do. You set your goals to achieve what you want to do, and don't worry about anybody else. Work like hell. It's not easy to be successful, and you will always have people trying to hold you down, right? So just continue to work. And then once you reach a point that you feel success, give back, in whatever capacity that you can, whether that's teaching a younger sibling, whether that's helping a classmate, whatever it may be. So those are the 4 questions. There is one other question on your experience in the course, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, stay informed. Use this link. Save these links because I don't know what your access. I think your access on Friday will be cut off to Canvas. So save everything that you can. You should still have access to my slideshows and links, so all those should be on there. But keeping updated with COVID, all those things. So total confirmed cases globally, U.S., 1 million cases in the U.S. It's like a third of the world's cases right now. Ramping up testing, so we'll have more of those. Iowa's cases, going to that link here. And when will we know more? June 30th is supposed to be the date that our district is supposed to get a plan out to the state on what we're going to do for preparations for next year. So keep your ears open for that announcement coming June 30th or before. Social media outlets should have access to that for you guys to be able to know exactly what the plan is. I mean, U of I has already said that they are going to have people on campus next year. in the fall, and so I'm assuming we will try to do that as well. Will it look different? Possibly. Will there be some distance learning? Maybe. We can only speculate right now as to what the district wants to do with that. So if you guys are going to join the Zoom later, that would be awesome. Just to kind of say our final goodbyes. It's obviously not mandatory, and it will be pretty short. I'll go through these slides again, and we'll kind of say our piece and move you on to 8th grade. So, again, enjoy the summer. Find something constructive to do with yourselves. Continue to read, write, document this situation so you don't forget it, and so you can share it later in life. So, with that being said, thank you. And I hope you have a heck of a summer, and I can't wait to see you all in the fall.